Davis actually called earlier in the week. And if you want to call and leave a message with us at Tautoa, that's fine. But understand, as you're not a client, you probably want to get a call back with an answer. But we will put it here, okay? We will talk about it here on the Q&As on Saturday. Anyway, Davis asked, and understand, we're not trying to be difficult. It's just we have clients all over the country that pay for our consulting services. And I don't think they'd appreciate it too much if we were providing consulting directly for a company for free. You see what I'm getting at? I mean, not trying to be difficult, it's just common sense stuff. Anyway, Davis asked if we would recommend using a carrier due diligence service to onboard a carrier. Okay, now, understand that even if you use, and I've looked around, there are services out there, and actually Davis used one company as an example. If we would recommend them, well, obviously we're not going to recommend anyone like that, be it the company they asked about or anybody else, for the most part, because, well, when it comes to a carrier due diligence service, what are you actually getting? How does a carrier due diligence service protect you from the liability? Because it's still going to come back on you. The buck's going to stop with you, the broker, no matter what the carrier due diligence service says. Now, they may have something in there about providing some type of legal representation or whatever. But when it comes right back down to it, it's going to be on you. And I haven't seen any contracts from any services like this. I've seen their prices, and pretty expensive. When you're doing a due diligence on a carrier, it's not that difficult. There is no guideline that a broker's going to go by as far as legal guideline to follow to make a decision if they want to approve or not approve that carrier. Matter of fact, we've done videos in the past about doing due diligence. But the main thing you want to get is, well, main things you want to have on file is obviously going to be the broker-carrier agreement signed by the carrier. You're going to want their authority, their insurance, W-9s, things of that nature. And I know people have a habit of using the load board to check out a carrier. They click the MC number on the load board or whatever, and all that information is pulling from the FMCSA website. But I always recommend get it from the horse's mouth. Go to SaferSys. You know, go to what is it? safer.dot.gov, something like that. Anyway, it's easy to find. Just do a search on Google for FMCSA, Safer, and SaferWeb, and you'll get the link. There you can enter in the carrier's DOT number, MC number. More times than not, you're going to be entering the MC number. Trucking company with an MC number, they are considered an interstate motor carrier, a trucking company that only has a DOT number, obviously, an intrastate carrier. But you can pull up the company snapshot for that carrier. Now, I'm not going to pull up the Safer web, but the company snapshot is going to give you all the information for that carrier. First thing you need to do is check to make sure everything in their general information area matches what you know it should. Okay? Addresses, name of the company, things of that nature. If it doesn't, you need to call the phone number on the snapshot screen from the FMCSA website for that carrier. That is the phone number that is with that MC number. Okay? Registered with that MC number. You want to call that number. All you're going to do is identify yourself, identify your brokerage, and ask and verify, really. Just verify that they have someone working at their company that is authorized to get loads for their trucks. Now, what I'm getting at, maybe they're in Maybe the trucking company's based in Roanoke, Virginia. Maybe the guy you're talking to, the dispatcher you were talking to, maybe they were in Atlanta, Georgia. You just want to verify. What you're doing is making sure somebody's not trying to pull any fast ones, and there's all kinds of scams out there anymore. You want to make sure that the trucking company is the one that is actually doing the load, not somebody else, or somebody trying to pull a fast one on you. Next thing you're going to do, or your broker will anyway, is check out their CSA. 7 categories on the CSA. The broker can click on any of those categories to see what kind of violations they've had in the past 24 months. It's going to be posted as far as what the violation was, severity level, things of that nature, as well as out-of-service violations going to be up there. And it will give you the national average. It will also give you that carrier's average. And I'm from the school of, okay, if the carrier's out-of-service average is more than the national average, more times than not, I'll pass. Okay? And the reason I'll pass is just like, for the situation that CSA is finding themselves in. They have insurance and things like that. C.H. Robinson, I'm sure. But unless there's more to this story that's not being published, CH is in a bad place, So if you, I was going to say if you just tuned in, but this is recorded, so rewind. Yeah. But anyway, Davis, your question. Due diligence service, it's still going to come back on you. Now, the other thing, too, is the carrier's insurance. They're going to send over an Accord. Most will. Progressive, they I don't know what they do. They send over a copy of the policy or whatever. Their proof of insurance, I don't know. I wish they'd start using the Accord. The Accord is just a standard document that most trucking companies, brokers, whoever has insurance will use as proof of insurance, certificate of liability. It's going to have all the coverages they have, expiration dates, effective dates, coverage amounts, things of that nature. You want to check their insurance, make sure it covers your load. And there is something that a lot of brokers are requiring nowadays, even our brokerage does, that's not required by law. But that is $1 million general liability coverage. That's just that extra layer of protection. A trucking company that has their own customers will already have this in place because their customers require it. You never heard about this prior to 2010, before the CSA came into play. But after the CSA came into play and the liability fell on not only the trucking company, but the broker and the shippers, the customers, it started popping up more and more and more. People looking for that extra layer of protection. And, you can't blame it. But anyway, what you want to do as the broker, you need to call the insurance company. In the top left corner of the Accord, it's going to show the insurer, the producer, and it will have their phone number. Call them. Request to be added as a certificate holder on that carrier's policy. Now, the insurance company may request that you do that in writing or, whatever, but they're going to want your information, your broker's information, address, things of that nature. And what they will do is add you as a certificate holder on this carrier's policy. Now, what that does for you, what that will do for you is simply anytime there are any changes on that carrier's policy, the insurance companies will automatically notify you so that you can be aware of the changes, be it cancels the policy, coverage changes, it gets renewed, whatever it might be. So that way you can keep the information current in your TMS. And I can't tell you the number of times that I've seen brokers. Well, generally what's happening, like when the renewal comes up for that Accord or that insurance for that carrier, the insurance company sends out an update, a new Accord. Well, the carrier gets it, but they don't do anything with it. They trash it or file it or whatever they do, or the broker will. What they should be doing is opening up their TMS and updating the information for that carrier. But how many times have you gone to add a carrier to a load that was already set up in your system, and you got the window, insurance expired? Well, if you did the certificate holder thing, it wouldn't have been expired. You would have got a notification of renewal. And if it did expire, well, why? Why weren't you notified? You should have been notified somewhere, from the insurance company or somebody. But now one thing I do tell my clients, if you get an Accord from a trucking company and in the certificate holder area, the box in the bottom left-hand corner of the Accord, it already has your broker's information in there. Call the insurance company anyway. Verify. With Photoshop, you can do anything. And people have been known to. So, Davis, I hope that helps you. I hope that answers your question.